Hello, hello. Hello, welcome to the stream for today. So today again we'll be solving some SAT problems on algebra and advanced math involving linear equations, linear functions, etc. So we'll continue from the last time that we had left. So we had done up till this question, so we'll continue from there, and you can answer the questions in the chat or you can follow the solution to get the detailed answer. So let us get the first question. So here the question states that a window repair specialist charges $220 for the first 2 hours of repair plus an hourly fee for each additional hour. The total cost for 5 hours of repair is $400. So which function f gives the total cost in dollars for x hours of repair when x is greater than equal to 2? So here a function is given which is f, which gives us the total cost, and the function is in terms of x, which is the hours of repair. So we are given one data point, that is a window repair specialist who charges 220. So that is the cost of the first 2 hours of repair, and then for each additional hour there is a fee. So the total cost for 5 hours is 400. So suppose that fee is x or suppose x is already given, x is the hours of repair, so the fee is unknown. So let us put that into the equation. So we have 400, which is the total cost, and we have 220, which is the cost of the first 2 hours. So we add 220, and we have this is the cost for total 5 hours of repair. So for the first 2 hours the cost is 220, or the fee is 220. So 3 hours are left, so the rest of the cost is for 3 hours. So suppose we take this cost as y, then we get y equal to 180, and this is the cost of repair for 3 hours. So for 1 hour the cost of repair is 180 divided by 3, that is $60. So this is the hourly fee after the first 2 hours. Now we have to find this function f, which gives us the total cost in dollars for x hours of repair. So for x hours of repair, the first 2 hours will always have this $220 as the initial cost. So let us write f in terms of x. So f of x is equal to 220, which is the cost for the first 2 hours, plus there is a hourly fee for the of $60 as we derived here for all the rest of the hours. So for 2 hours it is 220. Now after 2 hours, x minus 2 hours are left, so we'll have 60 multiplied by x minus 2, which is the rest of the hours, and the fee is 60 per hour, so that will be the additional fee. So 220 plus 60 multiplied by x minus 2, that, let us simplify this. So we have 220, and then we have 60x, and then we have minus 120. So if we add the terms, we get 60x plus 220 minus 120, that will be 100. So 60x plus 100. So this function will give us the cost of repair for any x number of hours. So you can even put the value of x equal to 5 and see if this is matching. So for 5 hours it will be 60 multiplied by 5 plus 100, and that will be 400. Okay, so that is matching the given cost for 5 hours. So this is the correct function, 60x plus 100. So the correct answer is A, f of x equal to 60x plus 100, where x is the total number of hours of repair and f of x is the cost of the total repair. Okay, now we'll move to the next question. If this is clear, so let us go to the next one. Okay, so this is again a hard difficulty level question, and this is a linear equation in one variable question. So the question is, Hector used a tool called an auger to remove corn from a storage bin at a constant rate. The bin contained 24,000 bushels of corn when Hector began to use the auger. After 5 hours of using the auger, 19,350 bushels of corn remained in the bin. So if the auger continues to remove corn at this rate, what is the total number of hours Hector will have been using the auger when 12,840 bushels of corn remain in the bin? So we have a rate of removal question. So let us put this into equations. So first we have this total amount, initial amount of the bushels of corn, that is 24,000. Then we are given that after 5 hours of using the auger, 19,350 bushels of corn remain. So how many bushels were removed? We can get this by subtracting this. So number of bushels removed is equal to 24,000. This is after 5 hours. So 24,000 minus 19,350. So this will be equal to 4,650. So these many bushels were removed in 5 hours. Okay. So now we can find out the rate of removal of bushels per hour. So if these many bushels are removed in 5 hours, then in 1 hour we have, so this is number of bushels removed in 1 hour is equal to 4650 divided by 5, which will be 9, then we have 3 and 0. So 930 bushels removed in 1 hour. So that means each hour 930 bushels are being removed. Now if the auger continues to remove the corn at this rate, what is the total number of hours Hector will have been using the auger when 12,840 bushels of corn remain in the bin? So these many bushels remain in the bin. So let us find out how many bushels are to be removed to get to this total bushels removed is equal to this will be 24,000 minus 12,840, which is 11,160. Okay, so this is the total number of bushels removed, so that these many 12,840 bushels are left. So if this is the number of bushels removed, then we have to find how many hours it took to remove these. So number of hours taken, number of hours taken will be equal to will be equal to 11160 divided by 930. which is the per hour removal rate, and that will be equal to 1. We subtract 93, it will be 18 and 2. Okay, so you'll have 12 hours. Okay, so correct answer is 12, that is option D. So in 12 hours we'll be able to remove 11,160 bushels, so that these many bushels remain in the bin. So answer is D. You can have a look at the solution. Okay, so now move on. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this question is on linear functions. The function h is defined by h of x is equal to 4x plus 28, and the graph of y equal to h of x in the xy plane has a x-intercept of a comma 0 and a y-intercept at 0 comma b, where a and b are constants. So what is the value of a plus b? So we are given a function h of x, which is a linear function. It is 4x plus 28, and this linear function intersects the graph of this function intersects x axis at a comma 0 and y axis at 0 comma b. So this is something like this. We have this. So we have a comma 0 and 0 comma b, these 2 points. So we have to find what are a and b. So since these 2 points are present on the line, so they satisfy the equation of this line. So the equation is y equal to 4x plus 28. So let us put these points here in the equation. So first, for the first point, a comma 0 will have y is 0, so we write 0 here, and x is a, so 4a plus 28. So that means a is equal to minus 28 divided by 4, which is minus 7. And then the next one is we put this point in the equation 0 comma b, so y is b, so b is equal to x is 0, so 4 into 0 plus 28, which is 28. So b is 28 and this a is minus 7. A is minus 7 and b is 28, so we have to find a plus b. So let us do that. A plus b is equal to minus 7 plus 28, which is 21. So 21 is the correct answer. So that is option A, 21. So A is the correct answer. You can have a look at the solution for some time, and then we'll go to the next question. Don't forget to like and subscribe the stream. So let us go to the next question. This is a easy question. So here we have this linear equation given, which is if 4x minus 28 is equal to minus 24, what is the value of x minus 7? So we have 4x minus 28 is equal to minus 24. Then we can write 4x is equal to 28 minus 24, which is 4. So that gives us x is equal to 1. So we are told to find the value of x minus 7. So x minus 7 will be 1 minus 7 is equal to minus 6. So here the correct answer will be option C, minus 6. So this is a easier question. So you just have to solve the linear equation and then put that value of x for the required expression. So now let us go to the next question. So this is a linear equation in two variable question, and uh, we are given a table here for x and y. So we have x coordinates and y coordinates. We have three pairs of coordinates, and the question says that for line H, the table shows three values of x and their corresponding values of y. Line K is the result of translating line H down 5 units in the xy plane. So what is the x-intercept of line K? So we have two lines. One is line H, line H. This is line H, and suppose these are the x and y axes. So we have x-axis and we have y-axis, and then this is the line H, and there is another line called line K, which has been created by translating line H down 5 units in the xy plane. So there is another line called line K, which is parallel to H and it is just 5 units below. So the distance between them is 5 units vertically in the xy plane. 5. Okay. So we are told to find the x-intercept for this line K. So first, from the given points, let us find the equation for this line H, and then we can find the corresponding one for line K and get the x-intercept. So for line H, we have these points. So we can use the slope and point form, one point. So let us find the slope here. So we have m is equal to the change in y coordinates by change in x coordinates, and then we can take any of these points. Let us take these two. So the first two, 18 130 and 23 160. So y2 minus y1, which is 160, minus 130 divided by x2 minus x1, which will be 23 minus 18. Now that will become 30 divided by 5. That will be 6. Okay. So 6 is the slope of the line. Now we can use this slope and 1 point form, which is y minus y1 is equal to m, which is the slope, multiplied by x minus x1. Now let us use this point 18 and 130. So we have y minus 130 is equal to m is equal to 6. We already got that here. So 6 multiplied by x minus the x coordinate is 18. So that will give us y minus 130 is equal to 6x minus 108. So if we bring y to this side, we'll have 6x minus y minus 108 plus 130, which will be 22, is equal to 0. So this is the equation of this line H. Now we can find the equation for the line K. So since it is 5 units down, its y-intercept will have a y-coordinate 5 less than the y-coordinate of the y-intercept for H. So this is how we can translate the line, and slope is same because it is just translated down 5 units. So it will be parallel, so the slope will be same. So we can first write this into the slope intercept form, which will be y is equal to 6x plus 22, and here it is slope m, and here and 22 is the y-intercept, which is c. So we can now write the equation for line uh, k. So for line k, uh, slope is same, so let us write that as um, m is equal to uh, here we had 6, so it will also be 6, and y-intercept will be 5 less than what h had. So h had a y-intercept of 22, which you derived from the equation. So this y-intercept will be 22 minus 5, which is 17. So we have the slope and intercept for line k. So we can get the equation here: y equal to mx plus c, and that will be y is equal to 6x plus 70. So 17 is the y-intercept and 6 is the slope. Now we are told to find the x-intercept of line k. So we already have the equation for line k. We just have to find the x-intercept. So x-intercept is when y is 0. So when it intersects the x-axis, that is y is equal to 0. So let us put y is 0. So 6x plus 17 is equal to y, and y will be 0. So 0. Then we have to find the value of x. So x is equal to minus 17 divided by 6. So this is the x-intercept. So the point at which the line intersects the x-axis will be minus 17 by 6 comma 0. So this is the required point. And let us see in the options. So we have this option D as minus 17 by 6 comma 0. So that will be the right answer. So D is the correct one. So we can have a look at the solution, and we'll go over through it again so that it will be clear, because it is a tricky question. You have to first find the equation of the first line and then the next line, and then apply the formula for a x-intercept. So what we did here is, first we used these points to derive the equation for line h, and that we did by first finding the slope, which is we took these 2 points and found the change in y coordinates divided by the change in x coordinates, which came out to be 6. So slope was 6. Then we used the value of slope to derive the equation in this slope and 1 point form, which is y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. So that gave us the equation to be 6x minus y plus 22 is equal to 0. Now we have to find the slope and the y-intercept so that we could derive the same for the line k. So we wrote it in this form: y is equal to 6x plus 22. 6 was the slope and 22 was the y-intercept. Then for the line k, the slope would be same. So slope was again 6, and the y-intercept was 5 less than the y-intercept for line h, so it was 17. So by this way we got the equation for line k, which is y is equal to 6x plus 17. Now we just put the value of y is equal to 0 to get the x-intercept, and we got it as minus 17 by 6 comma 0. So this is the solution for this question. um, you can have a look at the solution here, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay, so here is the next question. So we have question on linear functions. So an economist modeled the demand Q for a certain product as a linear function of the selling price P. The demand was 20,000 units when the selling price was $40 per unit, and the demand was 15,000 units when the selling price was $60 per unit. Based on the model, what is the demand in units when the selling price is $55 per unit? So this is a question of a linear function, because Q, which is the demand for the product, is expressed as a linear function of the price, selling price P. So let us write this. So suppose Q is equal to, it is given that Q is a function of P, so Q is equal to f of P, and this is a linear function, so we can write it, so any linear function is of the form ax plus b. If it is in x, this is a linear function in P, so it can be of the form a p plus b, which is the standard form for a linear function where a and b are constants. So now we are given two data points, which is the demand was 20,000 units when the selling price was $40. So when P is 40, Q is 20,000. So we can write this as 20,000 is equal to P is 40, so it will be 40A plus B. And the second data point is that 15,000 was the demand when the price was 60. So 15,000, this will be 20,000, and this will be 15,000. 15,000 is equal to 60A, because B is 60 here, the selling price, 60A plus B. So let us try to find out A and B here. We can subtract these equations to get A, so B will be cancelled out. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. So suppose we subtract equation 1 from 2. So if we do equation 2 minus equation 1, so we'll get um, minus 5,000 is equal to 20A, and B will get cancelled out. So A will become minus 5,000 by 20, which is minus 250. So this is the value of A. Now let us put the value of A here to get the value of B, the other constant. So by putting its value in the first equation, we'll get uh, 20,000 is equal to 40 multiplied by minus 250 plus B. So that will give us B is equal to 20,000, and this will be 10,000, so it will go here minus 10,000. It will go to this side and become plus 10,000. So plus 10,000, which will be 30,000. Okay, so B is 30,000, A is minus 250. So we got the parameters for the function that we assumed here. So let us go to the next page. We'll write that down. So A is equal to minus 250 and B is 30,000. So the function q becomes f of p is equal to this will be then ap plus b, that is minus 250 p plus 30,000. So this we can rewrite as 30,000 minus 250p. Okay, now we are told to find that based on the model, what is the demand when the selling price is $55 per unit. So this P is 55, then we have to find the demand, which is the value of Q. So P is 55. Now Q will be minus 250p plus 3000 minus 250p, 30,000 minus 250 into P, which is 30,000 minus 250 multiplied by 55, which is 30,000 minus 250 into 55. It would be 1000, sorry, 13,750. Okay, so this is 250 into 55. We recheck it. Okay, and this will be 16,250. That is the difference between 30,000 and 13,700. 16,250. So this is the amount of this is the demand which will be there if the selling price is $55 per unit according to the function. So this should be the correct answer. So 16,250. Let us check the options. So we have option E as 16,250. So that will be the correct answer. So in this question you have to first write it as a linear function q in terms of p, and then in the standard equation you have to get the parameters a and b to define the function, and for that we have these two coordinates given, which is 40 and 20,000 and 60 and 15,000. Then once we get the function, then we have to put the value for the given question, that is $55 per unit, and we get the demand. Okay, now let us go to the next question. So, in the next question, we are given again, this is another question based on linear functions. So, we are given this table with x and y, and we are given different values of it. So, for x is equal to minus 12, y is equal to minus 45, and for x is equal to 6, we have y is equal to 45. The table shows two values of x and their corresponding values of y. The graph of the linear equation representing this relationship passes through the point 1 by 4 comma a. What is the value of a? So we are given these points and we are said that the graph is a linear the graph is a line and it represents this linear equation, and it also passes through this point 1 by 4 comma a. We are told to find the value of a. So first let's derive the equation for this line. So suppose the equation, let us first find the slope and then we can get it from the slope and one point format. So the slope here will be is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x, which will be equal to this will be minus 40, this will be 45. This is equal to 45 minus 45, and then x2 minus x1 will be equal to 6 minus 12. Then this is 45 plus 45, that is 90, and then this is 6 plus 12, which is 18, so it will be 5. So the value of slope for this line will be 5. Now let us derive the equation by using this one point and slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1. So that will become y minus 45. We're using this point, the first point. So y minus 45 is equal to 5. M is equal to 5 multiplied by minus x minus x1 will be minus 12. So minus 12. Um, Now this becomes y plus 45 is equal to 5x. This will be x plus 12, so 5 multiplied by x, 5x plus 60. Then we can simplify it by saying um, 5x minus y plus 15 is equal to 0. So then this is the equation of the line of this linear function that we are given. Now we have to find the point 1 by 4 comma 0. We have to find what is the value of a if this point 1 by 4 comma a lies on the line. So if this point lies on the line, that will it will satisfy this equation. So we can put the values for this point here. So x is equal to 1 by 4 and y is a. So let us put those values. This is 1 by 4 and y is equal to a. So minus a plus 15 is equal to 0. So then it will be a is equal to 5 by 4 plus 15, which is equal to 5 by 4 plus 60 by 4, which is 65 by 4, or it can be 16.25. So this is the answer, 65 by 4 or 16.25. So that is the value of a. So we have to derive the equation by finding the slope first, then this one point and slope form, and then once we derive the equation, we have to put this point's value coordinates in the equation, and then we can get the unknown constant. Okay, then we go on to the next question. So the next question is a difficulty level hard problem. The question is that a certain apprentice has enrolled in 85 hours of training courses. The equation 10x plus 15y is equal to 85 represents this situation where x is the number of on-site training courses and y is the number of online training courses this apprentice has enrolled in. How many more hours does each online training course take than each on-site training course. So we have two types of courses given. So one is let me write that down. Courses. So one is on-site and one is online. Now it is given that the total number of hours spent on the courses is given by this equation: 10x plus 15y is equal to 85. Now x is the number of uh, on-site training courses, that is how many courses on-site he finished on-site, and y is the number of online training courses. So how many more hours does each online training course take than each on-site training course? So we have to find the duration of each online training course and on-site training course, and the difference between them. So since 85, this is the total number of hours spent. So here we have these many number of on-site and these many number of online courses. So we can get the total hours only by adding the hours for on-site and the hours for online. So this is the total hours for on-site, and this is the total hours. 15y is the total hours for online. Now x is, you know that x is the number of on-site courses. So 10 must be the duration of each of the course. So this is each course duration. Similarly, y is the number of online courses, so 15 is the duration of each online course. So we are told that how many more hours does each online training course take than each on-site training course. So online training course takes 15 hours each of them, and on-site training course takes 10 hours. So the difference will be 5 hours. So that will be the answer. So since there is no option given, so it is a direct numerical answer, 5 hours. And here there is no mathematical calculation involved. You just have to see what are the terms given here, so that you can find out what is exactly 10 and what is exactly 15 by the data given here, and then you just have to simply subtract the duration of online minus on-site course. So this was a simpler question, but it you have to analyze the variables given. So now let us move on to the next question. So this is a system of two linear equation questions. So we have a word problem, which is Hero and Sophia purchased shirts and pants from a store. The price of each shirt purchased was the same, and the price of each pair of pants purchased was the same. Hero purchased 4 shirts and 2 pairs of pants for $86, and Sophia purchased 3 shirts and 5 pairs of pants for $166. So, which of the following systems of linear equations represents the situation if x represents the price in dollars for each shirt and y represents the price in dollars of each pair of pants? So this is again a word problem, and we have to convert it into a system of two linear equations in two variables. So x and y already given, that x is the price of each shirt and y is the price of each pair of pants. So let us write that down. X is the shirt price and y is the pair of pants price. So then we are given that hero purchased 4 shirts and 2 pairs of pants. So the cost of 4 shirts will be 4x, and the cost of 2 pairs of pants will be 2y, and it is given that the total cost is 86 for hero. So this is one equation. Then for the second statement, we have Sophia purchased 3 shirts and 5 pairs of pants. So 3 shirts will cost 3x, and 5 pairs of pants, that will be 5y. So we have these two variables, and the sum is 166. So these are the two linear equations of the system which describe this problem. So let us match these with the options. So first one is 4x plus 2y is equal to 86, 3x plus 5y is equal to 106. That is matching. The second option is different because here the coefficients of the second equation are different, and first one is also different. Third one is also different because the constant terms are interchanged. We have 166 for the first one, and fourth one also has different coefficients. So option A is the correct answer. These are the two required equations that we have to derive. So we just have to put the variables, the values given in terms of different variables, and then get the equations. Okay, now let us go to the next one. Okay, so here there is a equation given first that d is equal to 16 minus x by 30. Let me zoom it. Okay, so here it is given that d is equal to 16 by x minus 30. Then the equation given, the equation shown gives the estimated amount of diesel uh, in gallons, that is the unit for any liquid. So in gallons that remains in the gas tank of a truck after being driven for x miles, where x is between 0 and 480. So what is the estimated amount of diesel in gallons that remains in the gas tank of the truck when x is 300? So x is the distance covered by the truck, and d is the amount of fuel or diesel left in the tank. So this is um, so we can so that is why we have this equation where whenever x goes on increasing, then d goes on decreasing. So that is the equation given, and we have to find the value of d, which is the gallons, number of gallons of diesel left in the tank, um, for this value of x, which is 300. So let us first get this put this value of x in this equation. So this is just a linear equation where you have to put this value to get the output. So d will be equal to 16 minus x by 30, and x is 300. That is, if the truck has already been driven for 300 miles, so 16 minus 300 by 30, so that will be equal to 16 minus 10, which will be 6, so 6 gallons. So we're asked that how many what is the estimated amount of diesel that will be left in the tank? So that should be 6 gallons. So B is the correct answer. So in this equation, in this question, you just have to put the value. Since this is a linear equation, we are already given the equation, so we just have to put the value of x for the required value of d. So that will be the correct answer will be B. Okay. Now let us go to the next question. Okay. So here we have been given a system of linear equations. There are two equations here. Ax plus by is equal to 72 and 6x plus 2by is equal to 56. In the given system of equations, a and b are constants. The graphs of these equations in the xy plane intersect at the point 4, y. What is the value of a? So these are two lines. The system of linear equations can be thought of two lines, and these are intersecting at a point which is 4, y. Okay. So now that means that this 4 y is the solution for this system of linear equations. So it satisfies both the top equation and the bottom equation. So we can put the value of 4 y in place of x and y here, and we can find out the value of a. So let us first do it for the first equation. So ax plus by is equal to 72. We put x is equal to 4 and y as it is. So that will be 4a plus by is equal to 72. That will be the first equation. Then in the second equation again we put this 4 y value, and that will become 6 into 4 plus y will be as it is, so that will be 2 by is equal to 56. So this will be 24 plus 2 by is equal to 56, and then it will become 2 by is equal to 56 minus 24, that is 32. So this will be mm, so we have 2 by is 32, so by will be 16. So we got by here, the final value, because we can replace this in this first equation that we got. So putting by is equal to 26 here, we'll get 4a plus 16, sorry, that was 16. So 4a plus 16 will then be equal to 72. So then 4a is equal to 56. So that means a will be equal to 14. Okay, so a is equal to 14. So then 14 is the correct answer for the value of a. So that is option D. So this is the correct answer. So you can have a look at the solution here. We had to we have to put the value in for the both equations for the two lines, and then we eliminated by from one of the equations by taking the value, and then we were left with a, so we solved the equation to get the value for a. Okay, now let us go to the next question. So this is a question of linear inequalities. Here we are given a shaded region in the graph xy plane, and we are being asked that the shaded region represents the solution to the inequality ry is less than 60, where r is a constant. So what is the value of r? So whenever this shaded region is given, we have to see the boundary. So here the boundary is a horizontal line at passing through -4, y coordinate -4. So this will, the equation of the line will be y is equal to -4. So because this takes only one value of y for all value of x, then this region will be, since it is above the line, so this region will be y is greater than -4, and -4 is not included because the boundary is dotted, so that will be a open interval. So y is greater than -4. Now to make it 60, we'll multiply it with -15 both sides, so the sign will change. So we'll have -15 y will be less than, so since we are multiplying with a negative number, the sign of inequality will change, and we'll have to write -4 multiplied by -15. So we can again write it as -15y less than equal to 60. So now we have got the right hand side in this form, which is 60, and the left hand side is something multiplied by y, that is ry less than 60. So we can clearly see that r, the constant term here, is -15. So the value of r is -15 here. So the correct option will be D here, -15. Okay, let us go to the next question. This question states that a store sells two different sized containers of a certain Greek yogurt. The store sales of this Greek yogurt totaled 1277, that is $1277.94 last month. So the equation 5.48x plus 7.30y is equal to 1277.94 represents this situation where x is the number of smaller containers sold and y is the number of larger containers sold. So according to the equation, which of the following represents the price in dollars of each smaller container? So let us put this into equation. So we have x as the number of small containers and y as the number of larger containers. And the total cost is 1277.94, and this equation has the total cost. So 5.46, 5.48x plus 7.30y is equal to 1277.94. Okay, so this is the total cost, or you can say that is the total sales. Okay, so this will be the total sales for since x is involved here, which is the number of smaller container stores, that is uh, from smaller containers, and this 7.30 y, that is the sales for larger container. Now x is the number of smaller containers sold and y is the number of larger containers sold. So the 5.48 is being multiplied by that to get the total sales. So if it is the number of smaller containers sold, then 5.48 must be the cost or the selling price of each of the smaller container. Similarly, if y is the number of larger containers sold, 7.3, this must be the price at which each larger container is sold. Then this will give the total price of the smaller container sold, and this will give the total price of the larger container, and that will be the total. So cost of smaller container 5.48, and that is what is being asked in the question, that which of the following represents the price of a smaller container. So this should be 5.48, that is option A. So option A is the correct answer. Similarly, if the question had asked what is the price of each larger container, then it would be 7.3. That would be option C. But for this question, option A is the right answer. So now let us go to the next question. So this will be the last question for today. So this is an easier question. We are given an equation here. So 7 multiplied by 2x minus 3 is equal to 63. So which equation has the same solution as the given equation? So if the equation has the same solution, that means that it is 7 multiplied by 2x minus 3 is equal to 63. So that means that 2x minus 3 will be equal to 63 divided by 7, that is 9. So 2x minus 3 is 9. So you can see that here we have 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 in the right hand side for the first two options, then 2x minus 21 for the next ones. So this option A is clearly matching this form. So option A is equivalent to this given equation. So option A is the correct answer. So that is it for today's stream. Thank you for joining, and like and subscribe the like the stream and subscribe the channel.